Many people try to make you feel like they are, in quotes, they are disappointed in what they are asking from a higher being. But most times, I'll tell you the truth, the only reason why they are disappointed is not because they have an encounter with a higher being, which is God, or that God promised them anything, but they're just going about with their mindset and their hope in people. You will believe me when I say this, that most times the faith we are saying we have in God is actually because of the hope we have in people. And that is why when these people disappoint us, we now take our emotions, let me not say anger, no one can take his anger to God, our emotions to like, God, why me? Why this? Why this? Why this? No, most times, many people never really had faith. They only had hope in what they were promised by someone, or in what they think is the promise of God for them through their leader, but not actually what God promised them with an encounter, or what God promised them with an, let me not say an evidence, so it doesn't look as if maybe you need evidence to believe God. So before you feel like giving up in faith or giving up in hope, please revisit that your hope again. What were you really hoping for? Was your hope in God, that God, you can do this for me? Or your hope was in the promise made to you by your fellow human, and thereby you put your faith in God and hoping for that promise, which is why you are disappointed that this thing did go through. I'm not saying that it's easy to handle disappointment from even fellow humans, but I'm just saying that if your hope rests in God and your faith is in God, no matter the disappointment from your fellow human, it will not shake you like it is shaking you now. Why? Because you will know one thing is for sure, that this is what I always say to myself, that as long as God is aware and He knows that this thing, I really needed it, but the fact that I'm not getting it, it doesn't mean that I should give up in life, or I should give up in what I am hoping for in life. But rather, it's just a way of revealing to me that human will always be human and God will always be God. So when that thing come up again, you believe your uncle, you believe your partner, you believe anybody for something, and you have taken it to prayers. From that belief, you are not seeing as faith. Oh God, I want to thank you because this week is great. Not because you see any greatness in the week, or because you have faith that the week will be great, but because somebody promised you something that week and you are basing that by your faith. I want you to know that it wasn't God that disappointed you, it was a human that disappointed you. And most times these humans, they are not disappointed you because they feel like disappointing you. They may have their own going through. That someone who said yes to you before now came out to say no to you, it doesn't make that person a bad person. Most times, economic can happen to anybody, government can happen to anybody, life can happen to anybody, and it will look as if they are disappointing you, but it was not in their interest to disappoint you. But most times, many of them really disappoint because they want to disappoint you. But however the case is, I want you to know this, that God will always be God. And most times, God even permits these things so that you will know that God is God. I would have used an instance that happened to me of recent to relate something to this, but I keep that out of this because I just want this message to be direct, because it's not about me, it's generally about everyone. So that next time you'll be able to know the difference on hoping on people and believing or hoping on God. I believe God for so many things. I believe God for my life, which is my number one priority. I believe Him for everything that happens to me. But, notwithstanding, I may have hope in the promises from men. I may have faith in God that the promises may come to pass, may come to fulfillment, which is an expectation from people. But that they disappoint me doesn't mean that God have abandoned me. I can't take that to God, because this happened between humans and not God. Let your faith be in God so no matter the disappointment that you are experiencing from fellow human, you will not take your emotions back to your God. Rather, you will see it that you were having faith in human and not actually faith in God. That's why you were having such disappointment in the first place. So, I want you to understand this fact very well, that God will always be God. And as long as God is God and you learn to differentiate faith in God from hope in human promises, you will be able to know that no matter what happened today, tomorrow will surely be greater. Thank you. God bless you.